In this video, I'll be showing you how to replace a transmission mount on a Ford Transit Connect. This is located under the hood and under the battery. Let's get started. We're going to open our hood and locate our airbox, our battery cover, and our mass airflow sensor. We're going to start off by removing the mass airflow sensor connector, push back on the red tab, and slide the connector out. Push down on the tab. Inspect for any corrosion or damage, and set it aside. Undo these two clips holding the airbox down. Push out on the tabs. Do the same for the other one on the other side. And once they're free, we're going to move on to this worm clamp on the throttle body. Loosen it with a flat blade screwdriver or 8mm socket. Once it's loose, pull it up and set the accordion tube and upper airbox aside. We're going to remove the front portion of our battery cover. Just pull up on both sides to undo the clips. We're going to follow our lower airbox portion up into the resonator tube to the strap. Just pull it up and undo it. Now we could remove the lower portion of the airbox. Pull up on each corner to undo the rubber grommets. Also one on the back. And once they're free, lift up and set it aside. Now we have access to our battery terminals. Pull up on this front portion of the battery box to undo both clips on both sides. Push the sides apart as well. And we could separate it from the battery box. Remove your positive battery terminal with a 10mm. Slide it over and break it free. Once it's loose, work it off of the post. Now we could fully separate the front portion of the battery box. Now before we move on any further, at this point on top of the battery box and battery itself, there will be a bracket with two 10mm nuts on both sides holding it down. Ours is missing, but if yours is present, now's the time to remove it. Now I'm going to take hold of the battery and slide it forward. Now we have access to our negative battery terminal. Use your 10mm to loosen it. Work it free. Lift up and set it aside. Pull it out of the vehicle. And there it is. Now with the battery removed, we're going to move on to removing our airbox. First, we're going to locate this wire harness down here next to the fuse box and remove this plastic clip using a trim tool. This will give us better access to our bolts. And set the whole harness aside. On the bottom of our battery box right here, we're going to locate a 10mm bolt. Remove this as well. Remove the bolt and set it aside. Now we're going to move on to the sides of the battery box, specifically on the driver's side right here. We're going to locate our negative battery cable. We're going to lift up on the back portion of our cover and slide the cable forward. Set the cable aside. Now, quick note before we remove our battery box from the vehicle. Right in here, there'd be another 10mm bolt. Ours is broken, so if yours is still present, now's the time to remove it. Now let's remove our battery box from the vehicle. Just slide it out. And set it aside. Before we remove our transmission mount, we're going to move under the vehicle and support our transmission with a jack and a piece of wood. Quick note, if your splash shield is present, now it's time to remove it. As you can see, ours is missing, so we're going to proceed with our jack. We're going to locate the transmission and lift up until it's touching. We're going to move back in the engine bay and locate our 4 15mm bracket bolts, 2 on this side and 2 on the back side. We're going to break these free and remove them. Now lift up on the bracket and set it aside. On top of the mount, we're going to locate a second bracket held on by 2 T30 Torx screws. Break these free and remove them as well. I'll lift up on the second bracket and set it aside. Now we have access to our main bolt, which is an 18mm. Break this free and remove it. Transmission may move a bit, that's completely normal. Remove the bolt and the mount. And there it is. I'm going to clean our mating surface using a rag. Wipe away as much dirt as you can. Let's go ahead and install our transmission mount. Put it into place. You may have to raise your jack to get the hole on the transmission to align. Once everything's aligned, install your bolt. So insert it and hand thread it on. Now snug it down with your ratchet. We're going to torque this down to 109 foot-pounds. We're also going to reinstall our secondary bracket. Just put it over the mount. Make sure everything is aligned. And install your fasteners. Once these are snug, we are going to go a quarter turn. Do the same for the other fastener. Now we're going to install our primary bracket. Just slide it over. Ensure it goes under the harnesses as well. Once everything's aligned, hand thread on your fasteners. Now we're going to snug these down. We're going to proceed in an alternating pattern. We started at the top left. Now we're going to do the bottom right. Now onto the top right. And bottom left. We're going to torque these 4 nuts down to 35 foot-pounds in the same order. Now slowly lower and remove your floor jack. We're going to go ahead and insert our battery box into the vehicle. Ensure it sits flush. With the battery box in place, we're going to reinstall our bolt. Center it and hand thread it on. If your other bolts are present, now it's time to reinstall them as well. We're going to go ahead and snug it down. And make sure it's secure. Route your negative cable through the notch on the battery box. Once that's inserted, reinstall the back portion of the top cover. We're also going to reinstall our harness clip, line it up, and push in. Since we have a lot of corrosion on our terminal, I'm going to wrap it around a rack and use a special spray. Spray it on the terminal and brush off the remaining corrosion. Wipe it clean and dry. Yeah, that looks much better. We're going to do the same for our positive battery terminal. Before we install it, we are going to clean our posts as well using a special wire brush. Just slide it over each post and brush away any debris. Now we're going to install it, ensure the terminals are out of the way, and slide it down and in. Before we fully install it, we are going to reinstall our negative battery terminal. Just slide it up and over. Snug down your 10mm fastener. Make sure it stays straight. And make sure it's secure. Now we can slide it in. Feed the cable through the holder. We're going to slide the front portion up and over. Pushing it on both sides. Once it's lined up and both sides are flush, push down to fully secure it. We can now at this point reinstall our positive battery terminal, slide it over, and snug it down. Make sure it's secure. We're going to reinstall our harness clips. Just slide them into place and push down. And the last one on the left side. Reinstall your front battery cover. Just slide it into place. Once everything's aligned, push down. For a quick reference point, we are going to mount the lower portion of the airbox on these 3 mounting positions on the body of the vehicle. Now let's slide it into position. Make sure the harness is out of the way. Line them up. Once everything's lined up, push down. Resecure the strap around the resonator box tube. Now we're going to grab our airbox and accordion tube. Slide it over in place as well. Secure your 3 mounting tabs. And your 2 mounting clips. Do the same for the other side. Make sure the accordion tube is lined up and fully around the throttle body. And snug down your clip. And snug down your clamp. Once again, make sure everything is secure. With our airbox resecured, we are also going to reinstall our mass airflow sensor connector. Slide it over in place, make sure it fully seats, and push this red tab in. And that completes our install. Take the vehicle for a road test, and thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.